What is up everybody, it is me DevilNeverCry and today we're going to be playing something a little different. Today we'll be playing Century, Age of Ashes, and more importantly, their latest event, The Last Bastion. For those of you that don't know, Century Age of Ashes is a free-to-play multiplayer dragon battle game made by Playwing. The game features a growing roster of classes and dragons, allowing you to compete in intense arena battles, and it's only through mastering the fast-paced aerial combat that you'll be able to claim the title of Ruler of the Sky. Funnily enough, Playwing themselves reached out and dared me to complete certain challenges in Century Age of Ashes via the Daredrop website, and if I'm able to complete some of these challenges, well, I'll be able to give away some rewards to you, the viewer. If you want to find out how you can take part in the free giveaway, stay tuned until the end of the video. Thank you to Playwing and Darkdrop for sponsoring this video, but before looking at the list of dares I was able to choose from, I decided to get acquainted with the game itself, and so I hopped into the tutorial. And I must say, it did a fairly thorough job of teaching me all of the game's mechanics without feeling overwhelming. I learned all about how to maneuver my dragon effectively, making use of braking and boosting to evade incoming attacks, how to effectively gain altitude, how the shield mechanic works, and of course how to deftly and effectively make use of my attacks. And so, feeling emboldened with my newfound skills, I thought it was time to finally take a look at this list of dares. There's 9 dares in total from me to choose from, with varying levels of difficulty for each, ranging from easy to medium and all the way to hard. Though I am a newcomer to the game, I do like myself a challenge, so with that in mind, I think I'm going to pick a dare from each difficulty. The first of which is Training Wheels Off in the easy difficulty, which requires us to simply win one game. And then we're going to kick it up to medium difficulty, which requires us to win a PvP game as number 1 on the podium. The last dare I'm going to go for is You Shall Not Pass, which requires us to beat Wave 10 in Outbreak at the Age of Madness difficulty. With my dares in hand, it was finally time to make a start. I decided to go with the easiest dare first as a bit of a warm-up just to test the waters a little, which meant that I was aiming for a win here in my first PvP match, which is Initiation, one of the first modes that you have access to shortly after completing the tutorial. And I didn't have to queue long before I was thrown headfirst into a match. Initiation is a game mode which pits 2 teams of 3 against each other, with the aim of the game mode being to vanquish the other enemy riders. Upon loading in, me and my teammates were able to pick our class and our class's abilities before being thrown into the fray. I didn't really know what to expect in my first PvP match, but considering the small size of the teams in this game mode, I definitely couldn't coast by and play passively if I wanted to win. So right out of the gate, I kicked things off with an aggressive approach and beelined it immediately to the first shield pickup that I could see, upon which I decided to skirt back around and double back on myself with the goal of essentially picking off any other enemy dragon that was currently involved in a skirmish with one of my teammates, which proved to be rather effective as I got my first kill of that round. Having already found success with the strategy so quickly into this round, I decided to employ it for the rest of this match, and it proved to be quite effective. My team finished this round out strong with a resounding 4-0 win, but the battle wasn't over yet. The structure of initiative means that the teams have to win a best 2 out of 3, which meant that we were thrown yet again immediately into another round. The first half of this round was quite tense, as our teams were evenly matched and nobody was able to secure a kill. That is until the enemy team managed to score a point and we found ourselves suddenly on the losing side. Not wanting to lose this round, I decided to redouble my efforts and I accidentally kind of went on a bit of a warpath. Within the 60 seconds left of round 2, I was able to secure 4 more kills for my team, providing a bit of a comeback and pushing us to victory with a final scoreline of 5-2. With my team being the victor in both rounds, that means we won the overall match, securing me a win for my first dare. But wait, what's this? In my fervor for wanting to win this match so badly, I ended up actually being the top performer on the leaderboard, which netted me a finish on the first place podium, which also just so happens to be the second dare that we decided to tackle. In just one match, I was able to complete both dares and take out 2 birds with 1 stone, or more aptly, 2 dragons with 1 fireball. All that was left now was for me to dive into the new event, The Last Bastion, to try and claim this final dare. The Last Bastion itself is a large-scale game event, mostly centered around the new PvE game mode, Outbreak. Outbreak has you band together with several other players to essentially protect the towers of Hell's Breach against wave after wave after wave of enemies known as dwellers. I believe there are 10 waves in total, with a variety of enemies being featured in each wave, with them getting progressively harder and harder as you go up the waves. Your goal is to defeat every single enemy in each wave whilst also protecting 2 separate towers. Defeating an enemy or helping a teammate defeat an enemy will net you gold, and you can use this gold in between each wave to purchase upgrades for you and your dragon. These upgrades are gameplay specific and are there to help you level the playing field. The better the upgrade, typically the more gold it's going to cost. So, being the fool I am, without having played Outbreak before, I decided to try and hop into it on its hardest difficulty, Age of Madness. But I was stopped, as to unlock that difficulty, I first had to beat Outbreak on Master difficulty, which is still probably a foolish thing for me to have done, but hey, I'm always up for a challenge. After spawning in with a group of strangers and picking my class and abilities, it was time for me to get to work. Our enemies, the Dwellers, typically spawned in from one side of the map, and it was up to us to extinguish them before they reached either of the 2 towers we were defending to do damage. You can see at the top of the screen each of the towers has their own health bar, so quickly at a glance you can see just how well you're doing and if you are currently being attacked. In between the tower's health bar is a number. This number represents the amount of dwellers left that you need to defeat before this wave is over. The majority of the upgrades that I chose in this round of Outbreak were essentially damage and speed oriented. I ended up going for extra stamina to keep me moving faster for longer, and less of a cooldown on my standard fireballs, allowing me to get more damage out there over time. Things were going surprisingly well, considering I was playing with strangers and having no voice chat enabled. We ended up actually making it all the way to the final wave, with only a handful of dwellers left before we failed the run. It was absolutely heart-wrenching to have come so far and be so close to victory, only for it to fall apart at the 11th hour. So I gave it another shot on the same difficulty, but ultimately fell to the same fate, and again could not push past wave 10. And so reluctantly, I admit defeat and realize that we failed to complete this dare. Ultimately, I do think it's doable, though you're likely going to need a team of people that you're able to communicate with and perhaps that you've played with before. Beyond dares, however, there's plenty to sink your teeth into in the last Bastion. There's an entire leaderboard, complete with objectives for you to tackle to gain rewards, including unique dragons. All in all, I can safely say I enjoyed my time with Century Age of Ashes. And if you yourself are interested in tight flying mechanics, dragons, and just burning everything to cinders, then I can definitely recommend this game. And of course, with the last Bastion event in full swing, now's a great time to join. Before rounding out this video, let's quickly talk about the giveaway. I've got 1 Stormrazor pack and 5 Fellow packs to give away on PC. To enter, just simply type dragon into the comment section below and I'll pick winners at random. So with all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.